Greetings hobbyists, this is All, and in this video we're going to have a look at how Curve Machine combines with other add-ons like Cablerator. So Cablerator and Curve Machine are quite separate add-ons and they do different things. Cablerator is specifically designed to make Bezier curves, typically things like, well, cables, and it's very good at making hanging cables that look realistic. It's got a number of features that allow you to do individual cables or masses of cables. You can combine them together really nicely and you can add different objects along those. Whereas Curve Machine is possibly more useful for things like pipes, though definitely could be used for things like cables, and I have used it for things like cables. And it gives you specific control over beveling certain corners really quickly and easily, as well as changing different attributes of your curves and being able to do a number of different things with them. Both of them have got video links in the description, so feel free to check those out if you want to have a look at those individually. But what I want to look at is how these combine together, also with a little bit of hard ops thrown in. So let's start this off with a cube. So I'm going to S to scale that up, and then S and Z to scale up the Z axis, G and then Z that up so it's a little bit higher, and then let's Control and A and apply the scale so we don't get any weird scaling issues. Then I'm going to go to edge mode, and let's make this a bit more interesting. So I'm going to Control and R there, and then Control and R there, and then Control and R in the middle somewhere. And then staying in edge mode, I'm just going to select there, and let's do that one there. And then I'm going to use hard ops for this. You could do this in other ways. So Q and then curve extract, and then we've got our curve, and I'm going to scroll up. So we've got lots of segments on our profile, and it's going to look a bit messy because, well, it deals with corners in a little bit of a funky way. Let's come to this and let's just H that to hide it for now. And we've got this object. Now, first thing, I'm actually gonna, let's extrude this up. So using Curve Machine, we can now extrude that up. I'm gonna go on the Z axis. So we've got this as our cable, and then let's fix some of these edges. In fact, I'm gonna Y and let's deal with the depth. This looks a bit deep. So let's go for this being a pipe. So I'm going to make something like a plumbing pipe or something that you might see on a submarine. I've been watching Das Boot recently, so let's go with that. I'm loving the new version of that though. I will say it's nothing on the original series. If you are going to watch the original, watch the series, not just the film. Anyway, so what we need to do is Control and B to blendulate these corners, and I'm going to put that to somewhere around, let's go with 16 segments. So I want something there, a fairly tight curve. Now, if you click on this next one, bear in mind all of these are 90 degrees, so they're going to look fairly similar. If you press Y and go to blendulate, if you hold your mouse over it, you'll notice that if you press Alt at the same time, it's just going to repeat that exact curve. So that's, bearing in mind all of these are 90 degrees, is a really nice way of making sure that everything is uniform. I've also been told by the creator we are going to get something where we're going to have it capable of you selecting multiple points and then beveling them all at the same time. So that's really cool. In fact, let's G and Y that over there so it looks a little bit more interesting. So we've got our pipe. Now let's start talking about Cablerator. So what I want to do is we are going to add something to this, and being that this is a pipe in a submarine, these are normally made up of individual sections. They're not really big, long, continuous pipes that have somehow been formed and flexed around. I imagine they're not strong enough for the pressure they're under. So we're going to make this sort of connecting point. So I'm going to fudge this slightly because it'd be for 3D printing. So we're going to go for mesh, cylinder, and let's up that to, let's say, 128. And then let's G that over here so we can see it better. And then I'm going to S and Z that down. Is that going to be too wide? Let's have a look. Yes, it definitely is. So let's S, and you'll notice I'm just doing this by eye. I'm not doing anything specific because we're going to be able to do the specifics with Cablerator, which otherwise would be a pain. Then I'm going to Control and A and apply the scale. Let's go into edge mode, Control and R there, and then Control and B to add a bit of a gap. We're not going to put it all the way through because we want it again to be 3D printable, but let's Q and then Alt click on EM macro, we can just put that in a little bit so it looks like these are two separate connecting points. Then I'm going to move the cursor to here, so Shift and S, two selected, Shift and A, bring in another cylinder, and this time we want it to be, let's say, 8. So it's going to be our bolt. Let's S to scale that down somewhere about that big, and then let's S and Z so we can see that on both sides. Cool. So these are going to be the bolts that connect everything together. So Q, mesh tools, and then radial array. Let's put that out to there, and let's up that to, let's say, 14. So there's lots of those bolts holding everything together. Or hide that empty that gets created in the process. Click, shift click, control and plus, H to hide it, and then I'm going to apply all of these. And again with hard ops, I can just Q, and then smart apply because I've put that to my quick favorites. And we've got that done. Now at this point, this gets really easy to add to this because of the wonders of Cablerator. So I'm gonna select that, shift select that, and then shift alt and C, and we're going to add or edit a segment. And that'll put our object to the beginning of our pipe. So this is like the beginning of our pipe, and I guess it goes into the ceiling here. And then we want to leave that there, but we do want another one. I need another one down here. So let's A, and we get our array, and then I can just press S to offset that down to, let's say there. Now, if we press C and up our count, it will just add these in, but they're all equal distance. So we're not going to want to do that. So instead we're going to say we're happy with this, and then I'm going to select that again, Shift and D, press escape, and this is now still considered a segment. So you'll notice if I G got 2 of these. So with the one that I've selected, I'm going to shift select the pipe again, shift alt C, and then I'm going to add or edit my segment, and I can press D to offset these. So that's going to be my one there, and then I probably need to S and bring that in slightly. So you can see how we're getting all these connecting points. And then same again, shift and D, so we've got a copy, shift alt C, add or edit segment D, and then let's move that along to, let's say there, and then S, and we'll move that one down. Let's go to about there, maybe a little closer, something about there. And at this point, you can see how easy this is. It's just a matter of doing that to get everything moved to the point where you want it. Let's go with about there. These ones are going to be fairly close. Do I want to move this? Maybe that's a little tight. Let's have a look. So let's bring that back there. Does that look good? I don't think it does look good. So let's go into edit mode. Because we've got curve machine, I can just G and then X, move that along, and then come back in here, Shift Alt C, add or edit segment, and then just S again and move it along. I mean, you can see how good this is. These work together amazingly. Like, really, really impressed with this. So actually, let's have this one being quite tight. So let's come in here in edit mode and then G and Y those closer. And what we'll do is we'll just have one here, as in it's 2 curved joints without any straight section. So again, Shift and D, Shift Alt and C, add or edit segment, D that along to, let's say, there. So halfway along, and then let's S that up a little bit. And there we go. We've got our pipes with what look like joining sections, and we could just combine this together. Admittedly, for this, we do need to add end caps. Now, again, Curve Machine have said that they are going to add a function for this for end caps, so that's going to make that nice and easy. But you can also do this with Cablerator. If I Shift Alt and C and then edit cable, I can just press C to add the fill caps, and we've got that there as well. So again, great combination with them together to be able to do that. So there we go. There is our funky looking high pressure submarine pipe. And hopefully that demonstrates how well Hard Ops, Curve Machine and Cablerator are working together. Fantastic add-ons. There's links for each of those in the description, and they are affiliate links, so you do help support the channel if you use them without adding any cost to yourself. And as well as that, there is the Patreon. If you'd like this model is going to be available on the Patreon, and this will have shown a week ahead of time because we are a week ahead in videos and you get to see them all ad-free. Have a great day, guys.